And now we're going to round the Fish Keys and then continue on our way to Big Carter's Key. Well, even after 2 nights of lousy sleep, I still have to admit this is beautiful. Well, here we are at Big Carter Key, or Big Carter's Key, I guess it is. And I was a little dismayed when I arrived to find all these power boats in the distance here, and I thought, well, that's kind of unusual. Not one sailboat, all power boats. But they're, even that one, they're all work boats of some sort. They've got plywood closing up the rear of them. I mean, I'm assuming there's some kind of fishing boat. No people here at all, though. These boats are all empty. Obviously, people wouldn't be shutting themselves inside and sealing themselves off with plywood. So. Yeah, so I'm the only boat here, I guess. I'm the only occupied boat, the only pleasure boat here. And I think tonight I'm going to be guaranteed of a good rest. Look at this. Look at this over here. This reef. It's almost dried. And we're halfway to high water, so that's pretty nice. This is going to be a nice, quiet place, so I guess I shouldn't say that until everything's said and done. But, anyway, I'm going to look forward to a little bit better night tonight. I haven't had a really decent sleep for 2 nights now, and I'm surprisingly fit for that situation anyway, you know. So that's fine. I'm in a good mood. I didn't feel like I was going to fall asleep today or anything like that. So we will stay here perhaps 2 nights. Quite a bit of current going through here. The tide's on the flood now. Stay here for 2 nights, I would think, at least. We put on quite a few miles today, travel for about 4 hours. Getting much closer to West End. At the Big Carter's Key, April 8th, and now this is the definition of silence. For a little while now we haven't got much wind, and as I say that, of course, is a breeze. But seconds ago there was nothing, and it was absolute dead silence. It's the sound of the surf up there. I've not yet seen anybody here. These boats, fishing boats, I guess they are, they're all just waiting here, I guess. That repair shack on shore, and the house that's a little further to the north, there's been no sign of life at all. Except for that pelican or bird that I can hear over here somewhere. Quite peaceful. And I'm going to sit outside here and reading my Kindle. Guy talking about his adventures in the American West back in the 1800s. Got some beer, tequila, and some nacho chips. Looks like we have some dark weather coming though. And it's getting closer. That's my curious buddy, who's often watching me here when I'm sitting at the table. Seems to have a lot of questions. It's just evening time now. Tomorrow morning we leave for Great Sail Key. About ready to have supper. It's been a very quiet spot here at Big Carter's Key. The only people I've seen are a couple of fishing speedboats that went by in a hurry at the past the mouths of this anchorage. Nobody actually has come in here. Well, one did actually in the early morning. I don't know what he was doing. He came over to look at one of the anchored boats, and when I looked again, he was gone. But that's it. I haven't seen nobody on shore yet, or nobody on those boats. The boat here reacts to the currents going through. That when the current's running really quickly, the boat will sometimes shiver like it's cold. I'm sure it's the chain is shaking it. But the water here has been very calm. It's a nice place to stay. That's why I didn't move on to Stranger Key. I decided to stay here because there was no guarantees that Stranger Key was going to be a calm, nice place to be in. As I make dinner, just waiting for the sun to go down. And so here we are on the 10th of April, heading off for Great Sail Key, just skirting along the northern edge of the islands here, just west-northwest of Big Carter's Key. It's Pigeon Key ahead of us, getting ready to round it and start going south. We exited out of the northern part of the anchorage because it's the way I know, and the way that it'd be fighting against the tide, the almost totally full flood. And that's the way I wanted to go. Didn't want to go the other way with a current at my back and going over what is reportedly quite shallow area. Didn't want to run into that problem. So exited to the north, even though I want to go south, and just working our way down along the edge of the keys here, and be going south momentarily. Well, this is Northwest Harbor at Great Sail Key. Great Sail Key, and this is a wonderful, wonderful bay. There's the other cruisers that made up my the people at that little dinner party, or that little drinks party. It was a drinks party, actually. One boat from Canada, the other two from the States, sort of traveling together. And this bay has got wonderful holding. Even the Navionics chart has a special mention in it, wonderful holding. It's all of us 7 to 9 feet deep. It could hold 300 boats in here easily. And it's a place that everyone pretty well has to stop at if they're heading into the Abacos across the Little Bahama Bank. So I'm surprised actually that there aren't more people here, more boats. But this is quickly becoming my favorite bay because I love the idea of holding, which is so good that they make a special notice about it. and it's calm. There's no rolling whatsoever. It's a bit of wind, but there's nothing but ripples. And across the other side, it's got to be just about maybe just under a mile. So I mean, you're not dragging anywhere in a hurry. It's wonderful. It's becoming my favorite place. Getting closer now. Tomorrow night is going to be Mangrove Key, a place that we skipped by both going in and coming out in 1997. And looking forward to checking that out. I don't think it's going to be nearly as nice as here. It's just a little round island that if you tuck up close enough you can get out of the major swells. But it's the only game in town from here to West End. And then once in West End, then it's a big jump across to Florida. On the way to Mangrove Key. Now here's something interesting. You see that lightish colored area in the water ahead of us there? You might think, uh-oh, sandbar. But I think it's a fish mud. I think it's suspended particles in the water caused by fish. I'm not sure what that's about. I've read no kind of real definition about it, just that it exists and it makes you think you're going to run aground, when actually it's just discolored water. So, excuse me, we'll know in a minute. See how it turns out. Yeah, well, we'll see whether or not that depth changes, but it's been around 13 feet for an hour. And we're just getting ready to enter that period, that area now, so we'll see what happens. Well, we're right in the middle of it now, and as you can see, the depths are still staying around 13 feet. So this is indeed a fish mud. Interesting.
Got out of town on a boat going to Southern Islands, sailing to reach before a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papa Ede. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. Got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way. In a noisy bar in Avalon, I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I had fallen. Spirits are using me. Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl. You know she owns the you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are dying, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship and all her flags,